Hey, the voice in your head here with the official MidsouthCon 41 AAR. For you non-military folks, that's an after-action review. You know, one of the great things about cons is they celebrate nerd culture. And there's nothing quite as freeing as being surrounded by several hundred of your fellow nerds. It doesn't matter if you're a Star Trek nerd, a comics nerd, sci-fi, or a fantasy nerd, or a little bit of all of the above, or even a lot of it. We don't care, because all us nerds have our own things that we love too. But there's something special about conventions that those of you who've never been to one just won't be able to understand till you do. Maybe today's video will help give you that final push to go to one, and see what all the fuss is about. First of all, I want to say a huge thank you to John Sears, author of the Lunar Free State series, for offering to let me share his table in the dealer room. This is the second year in a row he's done that, and it was very generous. We both sold a few books while we were there, so it was a good con in that respect. Here's the setup on day one. I also need to thank my crack marketing team, my dad, Harry LaVoice, seen here pimping the product with the Gladius League's hat and a pocket full of bookmarks to hand out as he wandered around the con. Thanks, Dad. There was also a wild William Allen Webb sighting as well. Well, several, because his tables were right around the corner from ours, so he was kind of unavoidable, and proof that they'll literally let anyone into these things. In between sales and panels, I spent a lot of time fighting Arwen Torva King for sales of the anthology we were both featured in. She kept selling it and sending the purchaser over to me to sign it for them. The nerve! They also placed me across from a guy selling comics. That didn't end well. Well, it ended well for him, anyway. I'll put it that way. He had an ambush bug set of comics that I'd never seen before, okay? Now, the panels were fun, except there were no real designated moderators. So, for the first one, another panelist volunteered to lead it, which was just fine with me. And then on the next one, concerning villain dynamics, I volunteered to lead, and in so doing, found out, as it turns out, I'm pretty good at it. Who knew? I also made a new friend. This is another thing about nerd culture that I love. You make easy, fast friends. And that was what I found with independent comic artist Tom Nguyen, who was a super nice, friendly dude. We had a chance to hang out for a while after the con was over and just talk life in general and all the stuff we're passionate about as artists and as fans with the con staff and other guests. The man, it was great. If you ever see Tom at a con, do not hesitate to walk up and say hi. You'll be glad you did. He's also great on panels and very quick to compliment other people to the point where it feels a little embarrassing. I hope we get to hang out again real soon, Tom. You're good people. The last panel I did was kind of weird. It's called It Was a Dark and Stormy Night, and nobody would tell me what it was about. And when I got to it, I found out why. I don't think I should talk about it here because I don't want to spoil it for next year's sucker. Guest panelist. Yeah, that's it. Guest panelist. So, made some sales, made some friends, hung out with some new friends. Ooh, got a piece of original artwork from Tom. Is that not the coolest thing? Woohoo! And now here's the best part. Save this for last. Decades ago, I worked at Union Planners Bank with a guy named Peter Malonis, and he was an artist, okay? And I commissioned him to draw an original character for me named Zach Harlock and a logo. And he did, and it was awesome. Now, Zach and his best friend Jake have been through some changes over the decades. I never could quite find a universe or situation that fit them until I wrote the short story, The Excalibur Test, which I did a live reading of at this very con, where, yeah, you guessed it, Pete was a guest artist in the art show. How's that for a cool, full circle moment? And on top of that, I got a cool piece of original art from him as well. Now, both of these are going to look great on my studio wall. Now, if you missed out on this con, don't feel bad. You can catch up with me at Imaginarium in July. And I'll see you on Friday with a new roundup of random. But until then, remember, the greatest American hero did it all without an instruction book and still managed to save the day. You'll be fine.